Okay, everyone. It's Mr. Drake, and my kids have found something else for living things. So these are called wood frogs, and you can find them all over here. You can find them around the reserve. They were found in this lovely little lagoon over here where we are kayaking. And these guys, if you ever find frogs, one thing you got to remember is before you touch them, you always have to get your hands nice and wet, because they're not like snakes or lizards. Oh, let's see here. Their skin is wet and it'll suck anything in on it. And the oils from your hands are very hard on them. So this is a wood frog. Like you see, my hands are wet, they're clean. And these guys they don't handle pollution because they can suck stuff in through their skin. One neat thing about frogs is these wood frogs will actually freeze in the winter. Their whole bodies, except for their internal organs, go right frozen, and they stay there frozen all winter long, and then in the spring they thaw out. And it's amazing that they can do that. They can freeze all the way through and still be alive. And these start out life as little tiny tadpoles that look kind of like fish, and then they turn into frogs. And so we know that they grow and change. They start out as tadpoles or eggs, and then tadpoles, and then frogs, and then they turn into these guys, and the frogs get bigger and bigger. So this one's a little bit bigger. I'm going to show you one that's a bit smaller. So we know that they're growing and changing, and frogs like to eat insects. So things like flies and beetles and stuff like that, mostly flying stuff actually, but you see the one on the right there is a lot smaller, the one on the left is a lot bigger. And these are we know that they're growing and changing. We know that they eat, they can have babies, and they need certain things to survive. So they need really clean water, they need lots of food, they need air. You can see this one's throat going in and out, it's breathing. So that is wood frogs, and the girls get a lot bigger than the boys. So I think this one's a female. This one's probably a male, but it could be a young female. And that is what I've got for you right now. So these are wood frogs. Like I said, they're amphibians. They don't feel dry and warm like a reptile. They feel cool and kind of wet, and just like a salamander would. And they change, they eat, they grow, they breed, they have little babies, and they need air and water to survive. And they survive over here in this lovely area, and they will also survive nicely on the reserve wherever there's water or woods. Okay, have a great time, have a great summer, miss you all, Gagamatsin.